Okay, we're going to learn today a Sikhe in Likutei Sichos Chelik Chof Aleph, Parshas Mishpatim, Sikhe Aleph, the first Sikhe in Parshas Mishpatim. It's a fascinating Sikhe, but it's just unbelievable. As more we learn, as more we see that it says, what does it say in Pirkei Avos? Afochbo v'afochbo dekulebo. What the Rebbe is putting into the Sikhe is just mind-boggling, just not to be understood. The Rebbe takes a Rashi that it's not understood from the beginning to end, not a word. Unless we have the same question as we're going to have today. It brings down Lechoire, brings down the Mechilte, and it twists it around the Mechilte, and it takes soap and it puts on. Why? Why do you change? And the Rebbe, what he finds out, what Rashi bothered Rashi, and what the Chidush is just unbelievable. And there's going to be also unbelievable thing that we have problems even in the Chumash, not only in Rashi. There's two psukim, the same thing, and in the first pasuk the Chumash says nothing, in the second pasuk the Chumash says yes. So why? If we need, say it in the first one. If we don't need it, don't say it in the second one. It's just unbelievable. Okay. And then by the end is a chidush niflo b'yosef. The Rebbe brings down the shalom that there's niflois in Rashi. In a Yom Yom, we have from the Alter Rebbe, there is Yeino Shel Torah. Last week we had Yeino Shel Torah. Today the Rebbe brings from the Shalom in Masechta Shavuos that he says that there's niflois in Rashi. Something that we can understand. The Rebbe finds out what Rashi said is a connection to the Baal Shem Tov and the Alter Rebbe, what they said on the same pasuk. Just pasuk unbelievable. Okay, Oy Salef. Oy from pasuk. Kishir chamoy sonacho roy b'tzachas masoy v'chodalto ma. There's a pasuk in this parsha, if you're going to see a donkey of your enemy that you don't like him, and you see that he has the load that he has on it, make the donkey sit down, and he can't, so you have to go and help him take off. So the Chumash says, so literally when we learn the Chumash simple in Pshuto Shel Mikro, we learn are you going to not help him? It says the Torah, you must help him even if he's your enemy. Steht die Mechilte. The Rebbe brings down a Mechilte, but explaining what does it mean. The Mechilte says that we're learning it differently. How do we learn it? Sometimes you really don't have to help, and sometimes you do have to help. Und wir bringen dort zwei Dugmoes, bei welcher Ato Chodel. The Mechilte brings two examples when you don't have to help somebody, that the donkey went down and he can't get up, so you have to go help him. Right? So now we learned already different pasuk. We learned already, yes, you should not help him. Sometimes you should and sometimes you shouldn't. What's the two things? So the Rebbe says, the Mechilte says, Aleph, chamoy shel Yisrael u'masoy shel goy, ozev ta'azev imoy. If the load belongs to a Eden and the donkey belongs to a goy, you have to, what? I'm sorry. The donkeys is from Ma'id, and the mass is from a goy. You have to help him out. Chamoy shel goy u'masoy shel Yisrael. If the donkey belongs to a goy and the load is from Ma'id, v'chodalto ma'azoiv lo. There's a second thing. Oyo bein hakvores alitame. If the bein is given bein hakvores, for a coin, Torah coin sich nicht mit Tame sein zu lieb dem. So we have two things that Mechilte brings down. One is depends whose donkey it is and whose load it is. Second thing is, if it's in Beis HaKvoros and a Kohen sees it, he doesn't have to go in and be metame himself and help him to do it. So we see two places that we don't have to do it. It's coming up. Yeah. Oich Rashi bepirushoi ala Torah bringt the Droshe. Rashi brings the same Droshe. Norten wir es mefarish dem Posuk lefi pshut oi, as a pisrum from Posuk is, shemot tire chamoy roi b'tzachas masoy, v'chodalto ma'azoiv lo bitmie. After Rashi tells you that literally, Pshuto Shel Mikro, we learn the Posik, and Rashi brings proof that we find in Chumash already such a place. We bring the a dogma from Posik in Parshas Eikev, Rabbi Magoyim Oile Mimeni, is also Shembitmeh. You're going to say that the Goyim are much stronger than us and be afraid. What does the Torah says? Lo yisiro mehem. Same thing is also here. No, Ozev Ta'azevim. And Rashi, when he's finishing to explain us, we learn that in Cheder, as we learn that in Pshuto Shel Mikro, Rashi is adding on something very interesting. Is Rashi Mamshich, umet Roshoi, kach doshu Rabbi Seinu. just I can hold myself. I must say that you're going to see that the Rebbe is taking one of his chidushim in Rashi's lotion. Rashi was so precise. Rashi was so meduik that it's unbelievable. What does Rashi always say? Umet Roshoi, Rabbi Seinu dorshu. Here it says something about double. Umet Roshoi, kar dorshu Rabbi Seinu. For what? It's going to come up in the questions. Umet Roshoi, kar dorshu Rabbi Seinu, kisire bechodalto, kisire bechodalto. Probim shato choydel, probim shato iser. Sometimes you have to help, and sometimes you don't have to help. Okay, it's that. When do we see it? So Rashi says, Zoken ve'eno lefichvoidoi. If he's an old man, and it's not fit for him, it's not nice, it's not a covet for this person that he should go and help, so he doesn't have to help. Oi, there's a second thing that Rashi brings. Ve'emas nochri, the donkey belongs to a goy, u'masoi shel Israel, the masse belongs to a yid, ve'chodalto, then you don't have to do it. So this is the, now we see already the difference between the Mechilte and Rashi. In Pirush Rashi, why is Rashi Meshane? Was anstatt der Dogme von Kohen, wo ihr bei einer Quores, as we learned before, da steht im Mechilte, sagt der Zoken ve'eno lefichvoidoi. So the Rebbe says, Rashi didn't make it up. Zoken ve'eno lefichvoidoi, wer hat gebracht in Sifri, ungemorre. It's in Sifri and Gemorre, there is. Aber auf dem Posuk, leisire shoyro chicho nidochim ve'ishalamto mehem. A posuk in Parshas Kiseitze, it says if you saw an ox of your brother that is lost, he's walking around somewhere you were going in the field, you were going to somewhere to next city, all of a sudden you see a donkey, you recognize him, oh, this is my enemies, I'm not going to give it back to them. So what does the Torah says? Ve'ishalamto mehem. So the Gemara says, sometimes you don't have to give back the donkey, you don't have to do it. When? If the Kohen, this donkey, the lost donkey was not Beis HaKvoros, it's not nice for him to do it, he's potter. This is where Rashi is taking it. Comes up an unbelievable, mind-boggling question on Rashi. What happened to you? Why do you go to Parshas Kiseitze and a pshat in Gemara, and you have the Mechilte that he gives you a pshat on this posik? The Mechilte is on this posik, he brings Kohen Beis HaKvoros. Why don't you bring it? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Yeah. There is another posik that we're going to learn soon before this Kisir Chamoy Sunach. Yeah. Right. That it's even Shor. So the Rebbe is asking, is Tamua. Alemai, Rabbi Holtzman is saying something very interesting. We're talking there not by an enemy, or chicha. And Rashi is bringing it there, but we're talking about Asoine. And the Mechilte talks about Asoine. Very good point. I never thought about it. So the Rebbe is asking a beautiful question. Alemai, why is Rashi mashmud with Pirushi the Dugme Koyim voy bein HaKvoros was wird gebracht im Mechilte alasar on this posse und bringt dem Fall Zoken was Chazal Zoken go auf a zweiten Posse. And where in Parshas Kiseitze. And I don't know why they didn't have it done in the places that it's even talking about a completely different thing. Okay, this is one question that we have now. Remember, we have a question. How come that Rashi leaves the Mechilte, what it says on Asar? The answer of the Rebbe is going to be that Rashi could not b'shum oivim bring the Mechilte Kohen beBeis HaKvoros. Euch darf man verstehen. Aleph, Mechilte kommt Chamoy shel Goy u'Masoi shel Israel als der erste Fall, aber Rashi ist Meshane und bringt es als die zweite Dugme. Okay, let's agree that Rashi had a reason why he changed. Okay, I agree with you. But why do you bring it as the second one? Bring it as the first one, the same as the Mechilte. Mechilte brings the same. The second that Rashi brings is by the Mechilte the first. Bring it also the first, bring the second one change. Base, the second question. Avos, sagt Rashi, al derech wie in Mechilte, euch dem upeom im Shat oizer. I'm telling you, the questions is unbelievable. The Mechilte brings two examples. One that you have to, it says, let me just look at it. If the donkey is from a Eid and the mass is from a Goy, you have to help them. And if not, you don't have to help them. Right? So Mechilte brings an example of doing and an example of not doing. What does Rashi bring? Two examples of not doing. So how could Rashi say, Rashi says in the first column, it's not. This is not what Rashi brings. Amazing. Let's see inside that the Rebbe is explaining it. is the lotion mathematic mit nem Schechoyen. According to the Mechilte, it's very Geschmack. Bald as dort redt sich wegen beide Eufanim aufgehen. Der Mechilte brings bolting. Chamoyer and Masoi. It says Chamoyer shel Israel Masoi shel Goy. Chamoyer shel Goy Masoi shel Israel. One you have to do and one you don't have to do. Der Far is Peomim und Peomim. Peomim shato Choydel you don't. Peomim shato Oizev. Oizev means helping. The Rebbe brings a Raya to Rashi that Oizev means helping. You're not go away. Choydel is not doing and Oizev is helping. See, this is all understood in the Mechilte. Aber Rashi bringt doch bloß dem Oivum von Bemas Nochi. Vechodalto ist was für ein Ort oder zu sagen, ob Peomim shato Oizev. Gebalt as redt nicht wegen dem Befehlus. It doesn't talk in his Pirish Beklal about helping. He says only when you're not supposed to help. What does Rashi say? Peomim shato Oizev, Peomim shato Choydel. Und neu bemeint, as is do Archiv und neu ist Beklal ist das Befehlus im Posuk aus auf Tasev. Why we passt with them sagen Peomim shato Oizev. The Rebbe is making the kasha even stronger. The Rebbe says, if Rashi was to come tell us that you have to help, no chidush, it says in Chumash, Ozav Tasev Vimoy. So Rashi doesn't have to say it. And the Rebbe goes even deeper. Rashi says, Peomim. You make it like it's F and F. Sometimes you do and sometimes you don't. It's not true. The truth is that always you have to help. Sometimes that you don't have to help. So what is Peomim or Peomim? Beautiful. Okay. So I have the question, why is Rashi bringing something from Parshas Kiseitze? Right? Why is it changing from the Mechilte? And the third question was, why does it say Peomim shato Oizev, Peomim shato lo Oizev? It doesn't talk about Oizev. It talks only about lo Lazer. Oizbeis. Der Tam was Rashi bringt dem Fall von Mechilte Oizev ben Akvor, lechoyer kennt was. In Oizbeis the Rebbe is going to try to give an answer why he doesn't bring Koim Beis Akvores. The Rebbe is going to say that Pshuto Shel Mikra could not use it. And he's going to bring a different thing. Der Tam was Rashi bringt mit dem Fall von Mechilte Oizev ben Akvor, wollte man lechoyer gekannt weiß. Das was hat Kohen Tozach nicht mit Tama sein, kedetz mit keinem sein die Mitzvahs sei. Und Ozav Tasev Vimoy ist weil bei Thomas Kohen ist da Loisese und neu Chanesse. Und der Fall ist moving Arzt mit passt das heißt es wird nicht durch ein Esse von Ozav Tasev Vimoy. There is two but the old learned always the Klolim who ever learned a little in Cheder in Gemara knows Esse ist durch Loisese. Esse ist not durch a Esse and a Loisese. So when you have a Esse and a Loisese, you don't know what to do. But the Esse pushes away the Loisese. Here you have a double. You have a Esse Ozav Tasev Vimoy, but you have by the Kohen, you have two things. You have a Posik, Kedoshim Tiu is a Esse, and the other one is Loitame Baal Be'amov. So you can't come and push it away. So why do I say that a Kohen could not go in and help him? Not because of because he's Zokum Vedel or is a Kohen. Because he's not allowed to. He can't push it off. Bringt es nicht Rashi. That's why Rashi is not bringing it. Because the child himself knows it about. Die Mechilte in Drash, I understand why the Mechilte is bringing it. Weil man darf nicht ankommen zum Limit von dem Itur Alosh Vechodalto. Where am I learning it out? Because it says in Chumash Vechodalto. Who is Vechodalto? A Kohen Beis Akvores. Nothing to do with Vechodalto. He can't go in there because it's a S and a Lois. That's why Rashi is bringing it. Beautiful answer. The Rebbe is going to say, I can't. But the Rebbe is not finished. But there the Gemara sagt, legabe dem Limut Posek Veisalamto, Peomim shato Mesalem. There's a Posek Veisalamto, but before in Parshas Kiseitze, as the Limut darf man oben nur zum Meid sein, Socken weine lepich voidoi, aber nicht lafuke Kohen, wo Beis Akvores, weil der sei nicht benigat im Fall von Yisrael Loch Hashem Rubem Shel Chavero. The Rebbe says when it comes in Kiseitze, so the Gemara tells us something very geschmack. What is Vechodalto coming to tell us? Only Zokum weine lepich voidoi. Why? Because a Kohen, the Beis Akvores, you don't have to tell me that. I know it myself. Same thing is here also. I know it myself. I don't need a Vechodalto to teach me that a Kohen shouldn't go in and save it. This is not a Vechodalto. And the Rebbe brings another side that also the idea, there is a halacha also when somebody doesn't have to bring back his brother's donkey that's lost, it says, by bringing back, the guy is going to win, let's say, $1,000. By each time that he's going to do it, he's going to lose $2,000 or $1,200. He doesn't have to do it. You don't have to do it here. I don't need this limit. Why? Because it's a coin. He can't go in there because it's an S and a lois. So the same thing is here. So it's a very geschmack, and that's why Rashi doesn't bring it. Rabbi says no. Aber man kann belavochen nicht annehmen als Rashi alt als Abtur. Und beide Fallen wird abgelernt vom Posuk Vechodalto. Der Fall bringt nicht den Fall von Oizev ben Akvos. You can't say that Rashi is not bringing it because Rashi alt als Abtur von beide Fallen wird abgelernt vom Posuk Vechodalto. You can't say that Rashi doesn't bring it because we can't learn two things from one extra word. Vechodalto is an extra word. So it comes to teach us this. Why? So the Rebbe is explaining why. Weil viel sehr ist schwer, nicht nur für was bringt Rashi die Dogme und sagt, wenn er heute was wird nicht der Mond michilt noch mehr. Wer soll kommen von ein nicht losen wir Chodalto ablernen zwei besondere Dinge mit Terim. Rashi after all Rashi brings to Dinim. So I can't say that Rashi is not bringing it because of that. So Rashi could have bring this also. That means that I'm not learning out two inyonim from the same word. Where do I see two inyonim? Rebbe says it's not only two inyonim, it's two special Terim. Where do we see it? We see it Aleph. Zogen weine le kvoide as der Chiyuv vom Prike le Parik Amaso is nicht doiche kvoide Odom. One thing. Beis bemas noch in Chodalto as Chiyuv Prike is nicht verbunden mit Tzar Lechaim. It's a very interesting Chidush that we have, that we see that has nothing to do with the Balchai. It has to do with Maser this. That's the most important thing here. As we learned at the beginning, what we say? Hamor shel Yisrael u'maso shel Goy ozev tazev v'imoy. Hamor shel Goy u'maso shel Yisrael v'chodalto maso. It's nothing to do with Tzar Lechaim. Warum it's Tzar Lechaim is kein Abkeminin is when geard beim. If I look at Tzar Lechaim, there's no difference to whom it belongs. If the beim is done and shed a load on it and we can't take it off, you have to go and help them take it off. So mainly I can't say that these two things that Rashi brings because we learned that from Chodalto. Muss man sagen, as Chosh Dalimut from Chodalto is nicht der Moker Raptur of beide Fall. Can be that this story with Be'emas Nochi and Be'emas Yisroel and the idea of what Rashi is bringing, that Zokum Ve'enu Lefchvoidoi, we can't learn both of them from the same place. Muss man sagen, as Chosh Dalimut from Chodalto is nicht der Moker Raptur of beide Fall. Und deswegen bringt sie Rashi zusammen, weil Sof seien sie beide in dem Klal vom Formum Shat heute. Rashi brings it because both ever common denominator, what is it? That by both of them you don't have to do it. If this is the story, is other kusher leduchte, favos bringt Rashi dem Fall vom Mechilt Alasar, or Ben Akvores. If you bring the two things that I don't learn it out from the same Chodalto, so you could have bring also Ben Akvores. Stamazo, you don't have to, it's not the Chidush is not that I learned that from Chodalto, because Akoim Bebeis Akvores is not allowed to go. But I could bring a deal to teach us that he is also not allowed. Oizgimel. But when those verstehen, Geagdim, Levayot Atam, was Rashi is do Bechlal Mefaret Dugmois. The Rebbe says we're going to explain it. First, we're going to explain why is Rashi bringing in general, why is he bringing examples, what happened here. The Prat as Beposek Visalamto, to Rashi, listen to this, what Rashi does in Parshas Keseitze, Rabbi Seinu Amru, Ve'omim Shato Misalem, Vechulu. It doesn't give you examples when you're allowed or you're not allowed. Und Teich nicht so ist, wo seien die Poemim, Shato Misalem, no bagnugen sich mit Vechulu. He's satisfied with bringing Vechulu. He doesn't bring what happened. And here in our posture, he brings us two examples. And not only two examples, but he's avoiding one of them in Chilta and is bringing another one. Es ist ein Deutsche Gott zu sagen, als mit Wochen Parshas Seitze, ist nicht befahre davor, was verlassen hat, dem bringt sie, over Chodalto, mit Parshas Seitze, im Kumishmois. Aber es ist, I could say, why doesn't he bring it in Keseitze? Because he said it already, the two reasons. He said it already in our Parsha. It doesn't make sense. Aber Chumash Mikro should remember what he said in Parshas Mishpotim to Parshas Keseitze, Shmois, Vaikro, Bamidbo, end of Dvorim, doesn't make any sense. So the question is, why is they satisfied? And he said, Beisalamto, Vechulu. Befragt, als dort redet sich wegen Chiyuv Prike und dort wegen Shovas Aveide. It's two separate things. Here we're talking about helping to take off the stuff, and there we're talking about another thing. So Rashi should have there also explained why not and when not. Based that zweite Fall is Rashi in Rashi do, wenn es noch im Masoi shel Israel, passt nicht bei Shovas Aveide, warum vom Masoi shel Israel toben ist nicht Misalem sein. Wäre Geschmack. Here we have a story that there's a difference between Bemas noch im Masoi shel Israel and Bemas Israel Masoi shel Nochi. There there's no chilik. You see a donkey that is lost. It doesn't matter what the massa is. Could be that it's carrying something from a goy. It doesn't matter. As long as it's a Jewish, your friend's donkey, you have to bring it back. So I see that there is not the same example, but we have here. Rashi should have told us there what is the example. Why doesn't he say nothing? Musman sagen, as well in Yonash Pirush Rashi ala Torah, also one of the Klolei Rashi in the Chedushim, what the Rebbe gives, this is one of the Klolim, very interesting. We didn't learn it till now. Muss man sagen, als wir bald in Jonas shel Pirush Rashi ala Torah ist noch bloß zum Erfahren sein die Ksuvim. Ani lo ibose lo Erfahren shel Mikro, aber nicht zu lernen Proteidini. This is not his Inyan. Der Pfarrer bringt dort noch dem Teil von Rosh Chazal, was mir geht zum Pirush HaKosul leTire v'Salam tum Omim Shato Misalem. There, the Rebbe is going to explain why. That there, he didn't need it. The Rebbe is going to explain beautifully the Chidush, why he didn't need it, and here he doesn't need it. Because here it makes a difference in the understanding of our posik. There he doesn't need it. If he doesn't need it, he doesn't bring dinim. Doesn't bring examples when you have to, when a donkey is lost, then you have to bring it back and when not. You want to know? You're going to come to Ben Eser Lemishte, Mechamesh Gemore. You're going to learn it. This is my tafkid is to explain you Pirush Pshuto Shel Mikra. Al pi zeh, Yois at Bepasha Sein is Rashi Yom Mefaret in the Gemore. And I see a difference. Here he is explaining it. Is the problem Shato Choydel? Is the von Guf gedrungen? So I learn from it. As though is a Pirut Megea Moshe Ben Avon Pshat Kosov Chodal. I need it for Pshat Kosov. Now we're going to come to the explanation. We have all the questions. We're going to come to the explanation. Der Biobozer. Der Rika Schwierigkeit in dem Pirush Apostel von Kisire Chodalto Goimer is, the Rebbe is going to bring two things that bothered Rashi in this posik. One simple thing in the lotion of the Chumash, and one in the understanding of the Chumash. Very gishmak. Nishno, Rashi's what bothered Rashi is two things. Not only mitzad dem lotion HaKosov that he didn't understand it, and he tried to explain what it means. Was Leute im Pirush Chodalto ma zoivle bitmi kum tois. As the word ki, was is meshamish belotion dilme, bezieht sich nicht zu die Wörter Tire Chamoyos und nachher Revetz Tachas Masoi, was kommen gleich noch Wort ki, noch erst zu die weiter die Wörter Chodalto begoima. Very interesting observations. The Rebbe is learning what bothered Rashi. It says ki Tire Chamoyos und nachher, and we learned Chodalto ma zoivle belotion bitmi. So the key means, how do you explain? If yes, so it doesn't mean key if you're going to see a donkey of your enemy with a load on it and you can't take it off. No, he goes on the verter the chodalto ma'azoivloi. If you want to think of not to help him, Torah tells you ozev ta'azovima. So it says it doesn't make any sense. So you write the key at the beginning, and then where is it belonging? Much later. It's not kisira if you're going to see a donkey of your no kisira chamer. You're going to see a donkey of your enemy. What happens then? You're going to think of not to help him. Rashi says it doesn't make any sense. Nor der Ika Schwierigkeit, this is one question. What is Rashi bothering really? Is in Teuchen. The explanation, what is the Posik talking here? Der Tam bei Pashas, was der Posik darf Schöle sein, im Kosal Gedeiter von Chodalto Ma'azoivloi, is weil der Redzer wegen Chamer Shenacho. This is a simple solution. Why is the Torah telling us the Ozev Tazavimoy? Why the Chodalto? Because we're talking about an enemy. If I see my enemy's donkey laying down, I say, okay, I don't want to help it. Tells him the Shaile, if this is the story, so I have a beautiful question. This is what bothered Rashi. Stellt sich the Shaile, bedoimel ze steht in dem Posik gleich vor dem. A Posik before that, there's not two parshas, not from Shmois to Dvorim or Shmois to Bereishis. In this same parsha, a Posik before, what does it say? Kisivga shoyro ivko toye. You're going to see that an axe of your enemy is lost. Und dort ist der Posik nicht mazer mit dem Loschen, der Chodalto mit Loschen, ist der Moab im Onefshach. Unbelievable question. Where do we say that if we Chodalto ma'azoivloi? In our Posik. Yeah? Why not in the previous Posik? It says the same thing. If you see a donkey is lost, you're going to think of not to bring it back. I'm not going to bring it back. I'm happy. God forbid, I'm happy. It's lost. My enemy, I have revenge on him. So why not there? Why only here? The Rebbe is going to explain it. If I need it, it has to be there. If you don't need it, why you bring it here? Beautiful. What the Rebbe is saying is more mimonivshach. How do you explain mimonivshach in English? Either way. No? There's a word. Good answer. In English, that's mimonivshach. Okay. If I have to warn you about the enemy, or das der Posik, darf sagen beim ersten Mal, der Rebbe underlined ersten, he should have said it by the first time, because Redzer wegen Azafar, und heute darf es dort nicht bewohnen. If you don't need it to say there, why don't we have to say it? Weil mai komash melon. What's the chidush? There's no chidush. Und wie bei alle anderen Zivurim von Teure steht nicht, also ich bin will nicht folgen, und dem Zivur sagt man immer, so darf ihr folgen. Ist aber sagt das der Posik, bin nicht da, sagt mal, a Geschmack Wort der Rebbe says here. Why don't they say it there? Because everybody knows the same thing. It doesn't say in the Torah about every mitzvah, if it's going to come a mitzvah, you're going to say, I don't want to do it, you must do it. It doesn't say anywhere, right? So I know myself that I have to do it. So why do you bring it? By the second place. This is what bothered Rashi, the main thing. Unbelievable question. The Posik, the Chumash is not understood. What's going on here? Why doesn't it say it before? It should be the same thing. I see a donkey of my enemy laying on the floor, or I see a donkey of my enemy is lost, and there it doesn't say nothing. Okay, good and good. We have to think about it. So we have to look into that. Why is the difference in the posik? Yeah. Obviously, there is probably a difference. Yeah. Same lotion. Ah. The maskilim say it. I thought in the beginning when you asked, I thought maybe it's I ate them, he ate me, but it's the same thing. He hates you, and Oyivcho is your enemy. So the same thing. So a very good question. So which one is the best? Soine is something happened. Okay. So there's a difference. Okay. Okay, that's good, but we'll see what the Rebbe is why it is. Okay. The phone named Rasha Rois, because Rasha was bothered with that, the phone named Rasha Rois, as the Chodalto kommt lernen Adim, was Shaykh, Lois in unser Posik. We don't need it there. We need it only here. Unbelievable. Listen to this. Und der Rebbe kennt sich Rasha nicht begnügen mit den Sorgen und mit Roshoi, vom Shatochoidel. Man muss bringen euch gefallen, wenn Shatochoidel. One thing we're going to answer, why in Dvorim it says, Bechulu, and here he brings the examples. Und der zweite Fall, Behemas Nochri, Asoi shel Israel, ist Shaykh nur in unser Posik und nicht im friedlichen Posik bei Yeshovas Aveide, Kenal. Und der Fall steht Vechodalto, vom Shatochoidel, in dem Posik Davke. In the first Posik, he doesn't have to tell it to us, because there is, Al Pi Halacha, in the first one is also time that you don't have to do it. But it's not important to tell us. Here there's something more important to tell us why sometimes you do it and sometimes you don't do it. And this is just the Nekuda the Rebbe is bringing, and the answer is going to come in detail a little later. Es bleibt aber schwer, Kanal Sif Aleph, was bringt Rashi euch, Zoken, ve'einoi, lefich voidoi. So in the first Posik, we don't need it, because I understand it myself. In the second one, I do need it, and we're going to see beautiful how it is. Now the Rebbe is asking the question, why is he bringing Zoken, ve'einoi, lefich voidoi? You brought me a dogma from Anochi Umaso Israel, so we learned already the Chidush, that there are sometimes that you don't have to do it. So why is he bringing another example? What do I need two of them? The beer in them. I say, wir bringen dem Medrashoi, ist Rashi nicht euch zu sagen, als zweiten Pirush, im Posuk, noch als das ist bei Emscher zum ersten Pirush, der Drash ist Maschlim verrempert, der seitige Schwierigkeit in dem Chat. I told you before that we see here in Rashi a different way as he brings down the Medrash. The Rebbe says that the Medrash is not a new thing. The Rebbe is going to say something unbelievable. The Rebbe says like this: the Medrash stays a Medrash. I have a problem with this Posik. Pshuto Shel Mikro is not answering me, but this Drash is a Drash. Rashi says, Pshuto Shel Mikro, but I have no choice. I must take this Drash and use it to explain the Pshuto Shel Mikro. So it's like enhancing the Pshuto Shel Mikro. Let's see inside. And the Rebbe says, Derech Hagav, Al Pizei, is verstandig, was Rashi is Meirich B'Leshoinoi, Met Roshoi, Kach Dorsho Rabbi Seinu. Man sagt nicht bekitzer wie in Roy Werther mit Roshoi. Why is he adding on all this? Damit ist Rashi Madgish, as der Pirush von Medrash for sich is rochoik vom Pshuto Shel Mikro. It's far from Pshuto Shel Mikro. It's nicht kein Drash HaKorev LePshat. It's not a Drash that it's close to Pshat even. Es ist aber Zunder Injem von Drash mit Roshoi Kach Dorshu. It bleibt a Drash. It's not something that it's not. In Drush, sometimes he thinks that it's close to Pshuto Shel Mikro. That's what Rabbi says. That's what he brings. The Dorshu Rabbi Seinu. That was here mit Roshoi, because it's close. But there he says completely different. When it's no, what do I need it for? When it's no mitzarev dem mit Roshoi zum Pshat HaKosu, so says that mit Vechodalto ben der Posik euch zum Rame sein für am Pshat HaChoidel. So it's two things that is the same. And you learn it simple. Vechodalto ma'azoiv loi. Come the Medrash says no, not always the same. Sometimes you have to learn Vechodalto. So it's like helping out in this bit mir. We see now nachher. There is a different way how to explain it. Doch bringen the Medrash as Pom Pshat HaChoidel. Wird recht die Scheile anal, nicht im Pshat HaPosuk, noch was darf, da muss die teure Scheile sein, im Kosal Kedai, doch Shemotir Vechodalto Ma'azoiv. With this that he brings the Medrash, this is going to help us out why in the previous posik the Torah doesn't say it, and here the Torah does say it. As Rebbe is going to explain it. Here comes a very interesting chidush what it is to understand what Rashi bothered and what this posik is teaching us more than the previous posik. The Rebbe put in the Torah vechodalto. That means the Medrash says that sometimes you don't have to do it. The Rebbe says because it says pom shato choidel. So here comes a very interesting thing. A person could make a mistake. That's why Rashi brings the Medrash, and that's why the Medrash is teaching us. That's why we need it only here, and we don't need it there by kisire chamoy sonacho toye when he's lost. The Rebbe is going to explain it. Shoyro not shoyro toye that he got lost. What do we say? That a person is going to see a chamoy of our enemy. He's on the floor with the load on him. He's going to say, he's going to be 25 years old, 30 years old. He's going to say, I'm a Rosh Hashiva, I'm a Magid, and this guy is a terrible guy. He made me trouble, and he hates me, I hate him. I'm not going to do it. But the Torah is coming to tell you and teach you that's what we needed. Remember, before you say that you're not going to do it, make sure 100% that you really don't have to do it. That's what the Torah is coming to tell us. This is the main chiddush here. You could make a mistake, or does it sein? It's always going to be a eter. I'm a choshev mensch, I can do it. A solchen sein Fall is nicht so arb über wird heute sein, as so come on. This is again the seed the Rebbe is putting down, and the explanation is going to be soon. The Rebbe is do. The Rebbe underlined do. The Rebbe only here. The Apostle shoyl das mit dem Sagen vechodalto bit mir. No ozev taze vimoy. So we have both together. There is vechodalto as the Medrash says. This helps me out. By vechodalto bit mir. Beautiful. Oizvol. Die Rätsel was schön für was soll man heute sein als die Pomen von Nato heute seinen Olol zu gehören seinem Kosal Kreito Kanal. Da ich schon ist was die fallen sein. Now we have explanation where Rashi is bringing it. Because it's we have a feel that somebody's going to take and is going to say I don't have to do it always. So Rashi is bringing us two examples. This is going to answer us also why we need two. Why always you have to be careful when you have to do it and when you don't have to do it. Aleph. Zocken wir nur für Freude. Der Chiyuv vom Prike wird nicht geafilo zu dem Koved Odom. Balachas kama v'kama to l'chlishes in koyach Odom. If he's a weak man, he's going to say, I can do it. That's why Rashi brings it and tell you, if you're talking about Koved, make sure with somebody else that you are about Koved and you're not allowed to do it. Otherwise, go and take it and give it back there. Or go and help picking up the baby. Beis brings the second one. Be'emas nochem asoy shel Israel, davon sieht man, als am Mizdon nicht äußern zu vermeiden, dem Zar von der Beheime. It's nothing to do with Tzar Balachayim. It's to do whose master this. That's if it's a master for Eid, you have to do it. Master not for Eid, you don't have to do it. So he's going to say, if you're not looking at Tzar Balachayim, so I don't have to do it. You know, it's not Tzar Balachayim, and I'm a choshev mensch, I'm a Rosh Hashiva, I'm a Magid Shir, I'm not going to do it. And this is was Rashi is magdim pomim shato choydel pomim shato oizer. The question was screaming. What does Rashi bring? Pomim shato oizer. It just brought two dogmas that you don't have to do it. Why is he doing it? It's nicht der Pshat as bichlal. In Roy fallen is dort der Zivui ozev tazev und der Retter von Bechodal pomim shato choydel is bloß in Ausnahme fallen. Or the chiyuv prike is lechatchile mit tzumtzum mugl. Beautiful chidush. At this pomim, there's a special chidush that the Torah told us here that pomim shato choydel or pomim shato oizer. The choydel and the oizer are getell keilu of gleiche pomim. Very interesting chidush. That both of them are it's a special chidush here. As we said at the beginning of the Sikha, that lechoire, always you have to help, unless there is a siba of not. But the Torah is mechadish here no. Bemeile, ist verstandig, als ein Mensch kennt sich dabei, leicht moire eter sein, nicht zu mekayim sein in Zivui. If I say that pomim shato oizer, pomim shato lo oizer, and it doesn't fit into Rashi because Rashi doesn't bring examples of when you have to help, the mechilt it does bring, and Rashi doesn't bring. Rabbi says this is the siba. Because it's F and F, it's more reason that a person is going to say, if it's F and F, I'm on the other F. I'm not going to help. Always is not going to help, so it's not good. That's what the Torah is coming to tell us in them posik vechodalto. Vechodalto mazoiv loi bit mie ozev tazoiv imoy. Al pizeh is verstandig for was Rashi is magdim dem Fall. Und so one of the questions was, naniach you don't want to bring the koime beis akvores what the mechilte brings, but bring at least this pirush, the first one, as the mechilte is bringing the first one. And then go to your new thing that you're bringing about Zocken Venele Vechvoide instead of Koime Beis HaKvoris as the Mechilte brings. Bis jetzt verstanden, was Rashi ist, mag den Fall von Socken wenig weiter zum Fall von Bemas Nochi. Weil der Iker Goyrem, this is the main thing that people are going to be talking in himself that he doesn't have to do it. Von Socken zum Fall von Bemas. Weil der Iker Goyrem zu einreden sich, als der Äther ist gültig, euch in seinem Fall, kommt von dem Tour bei Socken wenig weiter. He's going to convince himself from which reason, from this, the Rashi brings the first one, this is the main reason. That's why I can bring the minds of Beime. I think in the Tour from Bemas Nochi is a TOEFL. It's a secondary term, as you are, as the Chiv Bechlal soll nicht sein, Chomo Beino. What is the main thing that could bring him to say that it's not, wie sagt man, Arbe Mitzvah. It's not a strict mitzvah. Is this story is going to bring him, Davkeven is talking about Socken Beine, not from Bemas Nochi. Sie sagen, verrempert bei Pashas, aber das Rashi bringt nicht den Fall von Neue Ben Akvores. Now we'll understand also in the Pashtus. Mamish im Pshuti shel Mikro, aber Rashi doesn't bring it. Von dem Fall kämen nicht heraus, in Kule, in dem Klolos Achiv, Rike, a Geschmacken Entfer, why Rashi doesn't bring it. Because from this, somebody is not going to take a lesson that he doesn't have to do it. And the Rebbe gives two reasons why. Aleph, das ist a seltene Metzies, als Beime mit Amasse soll sich gewinnen in Beis Akvores, und der Gewinner ist Kohen. It's a very, very, very rare story that somebody lost somebody as a beime that it's in the Beis Akvores and can't take off the load, and a coin is passing by in Mamish next and he sees it. That's why Rashi doesn't bring it. Rashi brings more things that's normal or regular. Beis Veiker, second one is more. Der Tam Aptur ist verbunden mit einem Choymer von Thomas Coin und nicht so der Kohle in Rike. Second reason, very Geschmack. The Rebbe says this is the Iker. Why is a Kohen not allowed to go in and help him? He can take a lesson from it, because it's not because of the kule of the light mitzvah of helping, it's more in the chumre of the Kohen. Kohen is a chumre, he's not allowed to get Tommy. Now we're going to come to answer. We have left a question. How come that in Posik in Kiseitze, Rashi says there are nothing, and Rashi says v'chulu, and also why in the first Posik, it doesn't tell us this story. Why only here is the story? Why not by the previous Posik? Previous Posik is also the same thing. You see our shoyer or yivro is lost. It's going to be the same reason. Why doesn't the Torah says v'chodalto ma'azoiv v'chodalto? What should be the lotion? V'chodalto me'aviyoi b'chazora, v'chodalto me'ashivoi oshev toshi. Why doesn't the Torah say it? Beautiful answer. Oizai. Damit kommt euch zu Ateisus Bio, wo es steht v'chodalto. Davke in unser Posik. Und nicht im Friedrich Posik bei Hashavas Avede. Bei Hashavas Avede doesn't say. Simple Geschmack answer the Rebbe is going to give. Aber bei Hashavas Avede is dasselbe Din, warum im Shatom Salem kenal. There is the same din. You know what the reason is? Because there you're not going to learn a kule that it's like. Here you could. Why? The Rebbe is going to explain it beautiful. What is the difference? Bei Hashavas Avede passt nicht zu sagen, als Bezadi fallen and Shatom Salem, because there's a aloche that there's Misalem. Azok Meiner Lechvoida doesn't have to schlep a cow, a donkey, or a shoyer, get a slow step into the balabos. It's not nice. We're not going to learn from it. Why? Vato Misalem wird not an Ayores Eter of Mekel sein in Klolus Mitzvah. Why? Hashavas Aved al derech horov is nicht verbunden mit dem größeren Tier Chulu. It's very simple different. When you're talking about when Kisir Chamer Sonach Horov Itztachas Masoi, or should you have to go walk? You have to go schlep things and take it off. Here, the Rebbe is going to say the ox is going by himself. You just have to take a what's called leash or whatever he has on him and just pull him. That's why it's not. The Posik do red wegen Kisiv Gasher Chamoy Toye was Chai Noise Satzmoy. You don't have to carry him on your shoulders. I feel with Sefer Dvorim when it says there, it doesn't say also. That's why Rashi says only v'chulu. When your brother lost something, the whole Aveda Sechicho. Because by alle is the Ashove meistens nicht kein große Tiere. Not talking about toiling and exerting yourself. Schenken wenn in die dann. Bei Brike ist das eine Arbeit, was ist damit verbunden mit dir. Gewalt das sagen, wenn er Levchvoido ist Patu, kann man davon heraus mit einer Kulle in Klolos mit Kanal. You're talking about something that's heavy. So the Torah tells us sagen, wenn er Levchvoido is not allowed to do it. You know what? I'm also talking already. I'm also I don't have to do it. Where could we learn out a Kulle not to do it? In this posik, when we're talking about something that is not in the posik before when it's lost, not in the posik in Dvorim when it talks about things that's very easy, that's why we're not going to learn it. So that's why we don't have to do it. So that's why Ba'aved is no sibe to learn from it that it's a light mitzvah and I don't have to do it, and here it's different. This pasuk is different. Yes, that's what it says clear. Yeah. Here, look at the last few words of the learn. Okay, so now we're going to come to the inflation in Russia. All the questions are up, and the beautiful, the Chumash pasuk is understood. Why in the first pasuk the Torah doesn't say, and also the Medrash is not a Medrash, is always Rashi brings a Medrash that's close to Pshutish Mikro. It's Medrash, Rabbi Shenu Dorshu Medrash, because it's stuck a Medrash, but I must have it for the pasuk, because if we learn, so I'm staying with the question, why don't you say it in the previous pasuk? The Medrash is answering it. All the questions are Baruch Hashem done. Now we're going to see the Niflois. In Pirush Rashi saying, "Doch warum is Niflois beteuro?" As we said, Lo Shan Shelo b'Masechta Shavuos. Al pi dem Pirush Abal Shem Tov with dem posuk. There's na Yom Chavches Shvat. The Pirush Abal Shem Tov with dem posuk as Chamoyer is merames of Guf. What's Chamoyer? Choymer Shelcho, your coarseness. Und also if Tazavim meint, dass man nicht verlassen und brechen im Guf durch dein Yes, dass die Guf noch mal darf im Wahre sein und mit Sache sein. You're not allowed. But Shem Tov so kisire Chamoyer Shenachol, you see the coarseness of your body, and it's bothering you in serving the Eibishter. So you're going to say, leave him alone. I'm not going to do it. I'm going to fast on him. I'm going to break him. Also if Tazavim, walk with them, purifying them. Can man sagen, as the Far bring Rashi, listen to this. Beautiful. Can man sagen, as the Far bring Rashi, die zwei Yofanim Davke. Is changing for the Mechilte in Pnimis in Yonim, in the ploys. Davke Shat HaChodel, when is it? Zoken Veinu Levichvoidoi, Beis Be'emas Nocher Masoi Shel Israel. Weil sie seine Merames auf die zwei Yofanim, was werden gebracht in alten Rebbe Shulchan Aruch, wenn man Megye fasten. It's going to rhyme, it's going to be parallel to the halacha of the alten Rebbe Shulchan Aruch, when you are allowed to fast. According to these two things that Rashi brings, you're going to see the Baal Shem Tov said that you're not allowed to fast. You have to walk with the body. There's going to be two things that you're allowed to fast. Two things that you're allowed not to help. Also, if you're not allowed to help to take off the load from the donkey, same thing is here also. Aleph, what is the Tanir Shel Tshuve? When you fast of Tshuve, based on Tanir Kedei Lemarek Naf Shel Havai, to clean up is already Tshuve. Then he wants to come to the Eibishter with a very clean slate. So there's a halacha of fasting. It's called lemiruk. Lemiruk means to, like when you wash out a pot of chunk, you have to really, really clean it. So he's already did tshuva, but it's still something there, so we have to take it off. And why is it? Shlomo has an ematim to the zwei Ivanim in Igeras HaTshuva. Sof Perik Aleph, he talks about tiniest to finish up the kapore. Reish Perik Sheni is talking about lemarek, and the Alter Rebbe uses the lotion, what does it mean lemarek? It should be willing. It should be rotzui. Should be wanted by the Eibishter as he was before he did the Aved. Keine shel tshuva zayin when it's retzach wegen tshuva oder shleimus al chatoim. There's two levels in fasting of tshuva. One is of chatoim, one is by the end already, when it's by the end. The Moif is Rashi Merames in the fall from Bemas Nochri Masoi Shel Israel. Unbelievable. Listen what it means. Bemas Nochri Masoi Shel Israel. What is it? And I zindig, when somebody has to show them does an avere, wer hat sein Guf und Nefesh Abamish abgerissen von Dusche, und if he show, gehen sie arriba tachat Memsheles HaKlippe, es wird be'emtoi shel Nochri. Till now it's be'emas Israel, but it becomes be'emas Nochri. What is the Maaseh? Maaseh is Zaid, because Zaid is always Melei Mitzvahs Kerimoy, so it's still, the Maaseh is still good. Since the Chobar HaFilu Ish Israel Melei Mitzvahs Kerimoy, a Maaseh von Mitzvahs ist das Israel, fragt as the Neshama von Aiden is gam b'shas achet oish boam noito is borach. As the Alter Rebbe is telling us in Tanya, sie bleibt ganz bei Mitten. The Neshama is always good. Okay, so this is a dogma in Rashi that this is when v'chodalto ma'azoivle. This is we say the Medrash v'chodalto. Yes, Rashi brings this example that when it comes to an Inyan that you read the Avere and you become a be'emas nochri in a masoi shel Israel, then you are allowed to fast. Dagegen die Tanir ist lemarek Naf Shel Hashem. Deine noch dem, wenn es lemarek, so tshuva shleimo. Il shoyno Reish Perik Beis, am Alter Rebbe says in Perik Beis in Igeras HaTshuva. Oder hat lechatchila nicht gedacht ankommen dazu, weil hat gam khulo. He doesn't need it. He's fasting only to be edaler, to be more refined. Der will der Griechen miruk nefesh Hashem. He didn't do averes. He wants to be lerotzen of Hashem khulo. Und es kann sein durch dem zweiten Kotze. It could be sometimes that he does it in a way in the other end completely. Wenn einer ist reingetan in Edele und ruchnisch in Jonim. Somebody is a refined person, is learning, is davening, is doing everything he needs. Und der Pfarrer vernimmt sich nicht so viel mit der Avoide vom Büro, was sich Chaguf. He doesn't think about the body. He's busy learning and davening. Can sein Guf, this is a very important point. There is people that they learn in daven, and God forbid sometimes they see something or they hear something, and it could throw him off completely. That's what the Rebbe says here. Kann sein Guf bleiben in einer gewissen Matzev von Chumries ve Gassus. Was poil euch a Gassus al Koponim anit shleimus b'miru kanefesh. If the Guf is staying in his coarseness, it has an effect on the Neshama also. As the Rebbe says in 32, al derech apirush be Gassus or Ruach. What do you mean Gassus or Ruach? What do you mean Gassus or Ruach? Somebody is about guiding. What do you mean Gassus or Ruach? Says Ruchnies, b'prinas Gassus obvious. Even the Ruchnies becomes also coarse and thick. In the Kotetere, the Alter Rebbe talks in the Kotetere of Rosh Hashanah. The father of Robin Tanias was a turn of America. So there's two ways. Number one, somebody is seen. He needs to fast to have a kapore. Then he wants to have Miruka Nefesh. Miruka Nefesh could be also by somebody who is davening and learning, and he never did done away. Das is Rashi Merames mit dem Fall. Here comes the second way of fasting. The Miruk has to do with Zokken Veine Lefechvoidoi. Those are the Tanias from the Vosi Zokken, as we just said. He's a person that he learns and davens. Zeshikon Chochmo. Afar is by him the Isaskus in Biru. Vezichor Gufoi Chamoyer. Ani from Veine Lefechvoidoi. He says, I'm sitting in shul, I'm learning, I'm davening. I don't care about my body. I don't talk about it. I don't want to know anything about it. And then it could be a nefila, because the goof stays in its coarseness. And as the Alter says in Tanya clear, that the goof becomes always more and more because of the way that we live. We have to eat, and we eat, we enjoy it. The Loshen in Tanya, the Ribui, what's Loshen in Tanya? What? I think it talks about eating. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So this person, Tainet, what does it say? It's not for me to deal with it. Huh? Yeah. Right. And the Tainet is Lemarik Navshi Zanim Farim Mashlim Lebzichu Chaguf Poserot Pafel. Now it's understood about Shem Tov Stoire that it's exactly what Shem Tov says, that you're not allowed to fast. Comes Rashi and says, when are you allowed to fast? These two things. Chodalto, לפעמים וחודלתו, בין זה וחודלתו, וחודלתו מה זו יבדוי. We're learning it not בלושן ביטני. No, as the Medrash says, וחודלתו פה משעת החוידת. When is it by these two things? על פי זה יזמום בפנימי יסוניונים, פרבוס רש"י ברינג, שרוב דם פעל, ומקוים בוי ביס הקבורס. אוי בזוי, עם פנימי יסוניונים, ואי תזים פרינג בין הקבורס, I was going to say beautiful. That הקוים בביס הקבורס, עם פנימי יסוניונים could not be. There could be somebody seen, it could be a behemoth nochi now, but he's still staying Masoi Shel Israel. To say that a person comes and he becomes a kohen bebeis hakvoros, that is completely tome, impossible for him. That's why Rashi could not bring it. Weil der Riem von der Dugme in Avoide Ruchnis ist al der mit der Riem von Behemas Nochri Masoi Shel Israel, die Beheme ist bein hakvoros, durch Hatoim ist der Guve Nefesh Abba Misyori, die Mokem Amisi Ve'atume. Aber die Neshome von Aiden ist in der Prine von Bas Kohen. Die Neshome is always staying a Bas Kohen. Mechutz zu Lemailo von Mokem Amisi Ve'atume, weil gam b'shas acheito yishabom ito yisborach kenis kaloel. That's why Rashi could not bring it, because it says that it could not happen. Und Rashi kleibt euch den Fall von Socken Veine Levechvoide darf, okay? Weil in Ruchnies ist nicht dort die Metzies von Emerson Oyo Ben Akvoris. That's why it takes better the idea of Socken Veine Levechvoide. Socken Zeshikon Chochmo, and he's already in a level that he's learning and davening. He says, I don't need it. Oy Chayidish Aguf is a Metzies Nitzchis, by Velachas is Nishayach Kemise Vevshet Legamre. Even the Guf is a Metzies Nitzchis. It says a mind say Yodai is Poyo. Und in ihm ist da Bchiras HaKadosh Baruch Hu, was kann nicht verfallen werden, Chas v'Sholem. Just the idea of Bchiras HaKadosh Baruch Hu, maybe it's not in the Sikha, but it's interesting. Maybe somebody's going to have an answer. Bchire, the Alter Rebbe said, Ubonu v'chatam u'kolam v'loshoin, goes on the Guf, not on the Neshome. Because Bchire has to be two the same things. If I have a Neshome and the Goy doesn't have a Neshome, it can be Bchire. So why did the Rebbe Shabbochar? Because the Guf of us and the Guf of them Lavdul is the same Guf. The same medication, the same sicknesses, everything, we eat the same, everything is the same in the body. But the question is, if this is the story, why did the Rebbe choose us? If you have two things, the same thing, when you take one and you don't take the other one, is it called Bchire or it's called, like you make 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I'm going to take this. What's the idea of Bchire? Why did the Rebbe chose us?
אותם אנשים חכמים.
אם חכמים, אז זה למה שניש וזה. אז we are not like them. That's not bchira anymore. Bchira has to be punct the same thing. So why did he choose us? I mean,
any answer you give it, and it's going to take away the
takes away the bchira. If you're going to say that or even what you say here, that Eidish Yagov is a Mitzvah Nitzchis. Maybe this Mitzvah Nitzchis I could answer. It became Mitzvah Nitzchis after the Rebbe Shabbos Boicham. Became a holy. The body is holy. The Maggid said a little hole in the body is a big hole in the neshama. We have to give achting. We have to watch the body. Okay, it's an interesting point that I can get. I can say bloß gewinnen wir Schuss shel noch, as said before. Aber das ist noch a Shinu in Reshus. At the show is a tachas Reshus. When it doesn't avere, it's Yemol is called Be'emas Nochi. Aber nicht kein Shinu in Mehus Aguf. Warum euch demol ist das Eidisch Aguf, als der Retzem Aguf und Aiden soll sich beruchen, es gewinnen Mamisch in Besakvoras. Das kann man nicht sagen. It's impossible to say. That's what Rashi brings only these two examples. Zok Shekon Chochmo, and the other one Be'emas Nochi Masoy Shel Israel. Al derech haloche, that brings very geschmack, we have proof that we see it in haloche. As Aid was euch teuro zogt as nimkar lenochi, when learn Parshas Be'ar, that Aid sold himself to Anochi, is demolt guf eiser einer von lieb bnei Israel avodim, avodayim, shtori, koidem, we all belong to the Eibishter. Ois test. Das ist der Biur, nimm ich ein Jonim, die zwei Rushim, was Rashi sagt da, im Posik. Now we'll understand the two, Rashi says, the pshuto shel mikro, chodalto me'azoiv lo, ozev ta'azavimoy. What's up in Medrash? The chodalto. Sometimes you don't know. The Rebbe says, in Yonah, it's going to be beautiful. Lo pshutoi is chodalto me'azoiv lo yatmiyeh, as we just said. Ayid was is Yosher Oiler, ve'olikim otzas Sodom Yosher, und in dem Moiber schnell Peseder HaTeure, sagt der Posik, chodalto me'azoiv lo, bit mir. Are you going to stop helping the goof? Chas v'sholem. Es doch nicht sein können, von sich Gufen wird ein Nies, es bekommt dem Guf. No, man darf sich vernehmen mit dem Guf, auf viel mehr Wahrer sein, mehr Sachen sein, kein teures, aber Shem Tov Anal, that you have to walk with them. Danach kommt mit Roshoi. Und bewohnt euch, Azeleche, was Chotub, Ogmu, that's what the Medrash comes to tell us. Oder Al Kapon, wenn ich gegangen in dem Derech HaYosh, und bei Meile werde mit Sis und Pomim, shat doch heute Kanal. Sometimes you have to fast, sometimes you have to not help. Afal Pikein, not help the Nefesh HaBamis, not walk with them, fast. Afal Pikein, ich geguckt auf Anal, as Levin at Shuve Megmen fasten, so we came to a conclusion that sometimes he is vechodalto. You don't have to walk with the group, you have to fast. Rabbi says, no, now it's a change completely, it's not. Aber bekenne nicht geguckt auf Anal, as Levin at Shuve Megmen fasten, na viele Mishenu Yochel is Sanois. The Alter Rebbe says in Ilches Niske Aguf, somebody who can't fast, he has to fast. You did Averes? Fast. Yeah. There was a phrase of Rabbi Yochanan Gordon used to say always in his son Josh. Josh brings it always when it comes to this chumash. He always brings it. Rabbi Yochanan used to say by Verbringen. He used to say like this. He say, "Was gesündigt? You did Averes? Fast. You're too weak. You can't fast. Pay. Give it tzedakah. You have not tzedakah? Who told you to sin? Stop sinning." Okay. Afile meshenu yochel leisanis. Zog der Alter Rebbe in Igeres HaTshuvah. Der Alter Rebbe says in Igeres HaTshuvah clear, as a roe bruro, as bedoreseinu eile tomen ishmar bezan betanios afile tanis el Tshuvah. Now man soll poite sein die Tanios mit tzedakah. Now we have the Baal Shem Tov's pirush, but that's always. There's no such thing as we have to fast. The Alter Rebbe says in Shulchan Aruch that that's even eino yochel leisanis. Comes the Alter Rebbe in Igeres HaTshuvah and he says no. We learn now the posik as it is. The chodalto can't. You never have to stop helping. Ozev Tazevimoy. Learn it as Pshute Shel Mikro vechodalto in a bit mehr. You think you're going to stop in fasting? No more fasting. Balta Zechlish Sador is nicht mitzat Regel Abchire. We didn't choose to be in a generation of weak people that fasting. You know, we fast one day, comes in the evening, we're already oismensch. You know, we're dizzy, we're barely walking. You can't wait for the minute to go eat. No, weil also der Rebischter was schaffen dem dort, Rebischter created ist sicher, also durch der Meif mal beide angewiesen durch Baal und alten Reben fällt has Sholem gar nicht in den Ticken was gesorgen was wir wollt gehabt. Somebody could say, okay, we are weak, we're not fasting, but the tshuva is not as it's supposed to be. The Rebbe says no, the tshuva is exactly like it would have been with Tainias Beshigufim. The Reinu Zeh is gegeben worden der Koyach, we have the special Koyach, so can the Metag sein in Yonim Bild Retzuim, we could fix up things that we did not good. In a Neufung, was ist nicht verbunden mit Zar und Deige, nur darf mit Simche und Trub Levo.